I think what these people don't understand is how influential Tucker was on Capitol Hill, and that when he dedicated a segment to going after someone, to going after an office holder, that person felt the pain. They would get calls at their office, they would get emails, they would get cornered in Costco back home. Like, he had a real power to connect with people, with an audience that was conservative, that elected Republicans.
Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by commentary editor Conn Carroll. Conn, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy didn't take him 15 ballots for this big victory. He pulled it off, at least in the initial vote, on his debt ceiling proposal. A big deal or not?
This is a huge deal. This was a huge win for McCarthy. When you look back at the two previous Republican speakers, Paul Ryan, John Boehner, neither of them ever accomplished this. The debt limits was raised in both those cases, but they both had to be bailed out by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Both Ryan and Boehner tried to get a GOP House passed debt limit over the net, over the serve. Never happened. They both failed multiple times. And McCarthy puts this bill out last week. Some people object. He, rides some of them out, makes a couple changes, goes in there and gets the vote on the first time. I was surprised. I was surprised. It was a huge win for McCarthy.
I mean, after the initial, sort of protracted battle for the speakership, I think an argument could be made that things have actually gone pretty well for McCarthy.
Absolutely. From the very first time they repealed some Biden regulations, both on banking and the rest of it. It's been a series of win after win for McCarthy. The biggest before this was the energy bill that they passed, which is part of this. I think that laid the foundation for this, because you've seen a lot of sniping from people, the Washington Post, saying, McCarthy promised all this process, now he's not delivering, they're back in the backroom deals. But 75% of this debt limit deal is their energy bill, which went through the normal process, which went through committee, which went to the floor, which was amended, and that all built a consensus that the party could then get around. So I think he's had an executed plan he's had a plan from the beginning. He's executed it well, and we'll see what goes from here. But I'm frankly surprised at how well he's done.
I mean, there's an argument that he's had better unity of his caucus than Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has had of his.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at this debt limit bill right now. It's the only bipartisan vehicle out there, right? Joe Manchin is for it. The House Republicans are for it. If you look at what could actually pass the Senate, this is the only thing that can. There's no appetite in the Senate for a clean debt limit hike.
So you've written about Tucker Carlson. Obviously, his separation from Fox News has been a major news story. You say that people sort of downplay him at their peril. Why?
Sure. I think a lot of people look at Tucker and they just see the ratings, or they just see him as opportunistic, trying to get the best ratings he can. And they'll point out, that there's other shows on Fox, like The Five, that have better ratings. I think what these people don't understand is how influential Tucker was on Capitol Hill. And that when he dedicated a segment to going after someone, to going after an office holder, that person felt the pain. They would get calls at their office, they would get emails, they would get cornered in Costco back home. Like, he had a real power to connect with people, with an audience that was conservative, that elected Republicans, and those Republicans would feel that. So, obviously right now he's sitting at home in Florida collecting $1.6 million a month to do nothing. Good for him.
Right.
And so I don't think he's in a rush to do anything. But when he decides he does want to come back into the arena, I would not underestimate him. I think he's going to have a powerful effect in this town again.
I mean, I've worked for Tucker. I've certainly seen Tucker is able to do a pretty wide breadth of things. He's a writer. He's a television personality. He built a media outlet. He's been an editor.
Long form, short form. He can do it all.
Right. I mean, that's a sort of wide variety of talent. But we've seen a lot of independent media ventures, even basically one-man shows in the whole world of podcasts, be able to do very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he just did a quick, pretty substance-free Twitter video last night that I think has already gotten 14 million views. I mean, can you imagine just him teaming up with Musk and just doing some type of Twitter outlet. What more would you need?
Right. I mean, $1 per Twitter view, and he beats what Fox is giving him, right?
There you go. We've already have a business model.
Thank you, Conn. You can read Conn and the rest of our commentary team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.